Hello guys, today I finally have a new video. I don't really have an excuse why I haven't made any videos, just hasn't been my priority. I haven't been doing a lot of Minecraft generally. I've been online a lot at Synergy however, so if you want to talk you could join Synergy. I just don't build a lot of things myself there anymore. I've mainly been programming, so if you want to check out some of my public stuff, check the link in the description, though I doubt many of you will find it interesting. But yeah, for this video I actually don't really have a proper build of my own, but something that I found quite interesting a while back. So relatively often here at Synergy, well, probably any Redstone server, but I'm just mostly online at Synergy. Somebody builds something, and then at some point somebody else attempts it, and then all of a sudden sometimes like 5 different people are working on the same thing at the same time, really close to each other, trying to beat each other's designs, but also helping each other. And I just think it's quite cool how we continuously improve upon each other's design in our community. So here I kind of have a timeline of some designs that I thought were quite cool. So this is a design I made with MDP in the past, and I made a video about it in the past as well already. And this was actually the improvement of a design that Mumbo Jumbo made, I'm fairly certain. So basically what you do, you press the button and it just puts glass in this armor stand. So it was like a fancy armor stand display, I guess. Like if you actually have armor on top of it, you will be able to take it off when the glass is retracted, but when the glass is on top of it, I suppose you can't access it or whatever. Doesn't really matter. Mainly the interesting thing about this build is that you actually require a 0-tick generator in order to push the glass blocks inside the armor stand. Because if you use a regular 1-tick or a half-tick or whatever, you will always push the armor stand instead of actually putting glass inside of him, or him inside the glass rather. So yeah, that makes this build a bit more interesting. And a while back, which was the reason I made this video kind of, G8N, I think, yeah, started working on improving my design. Now that we have observer blocks, he thought like it should be possible to make it smaller now that we have those. Even before it might have been possible already, but obviously it was quite a bit harder without observers. So he made his design, and then it actually turns out that it has the same size, it's just different. So his is 4 deep and 3 high, and mine is 4 high and 3 deep, and the width is actually identical. So then I came out and checked it out and basically helped him to actually improve my design. And then eventually combining some things I saw in his attempts together with my own stuff, I managed to make this version, which is the same width again, but now 3 high and 3 deep. So it cuts off 1 layer basically, and this still works the same basically. So the 0-tick is basically achieved here by extending the back pistons and then making this. Okay, never mind. Here he actually J8N actually uses like half-tick offsets from pistons to achieve the 0-tick timing. But here that doesn't happen. I thought it's still I still use that here, but apparently not. So yeah, that's what we made together, and that was kind of the best we could do, I suppose. Then Sacred Redstone came along, and like without any effort he just made this design, which is like 6 blocks smaller, I think. Yeah, a bit of different shape, but again it just does the same. And that was basically largely due to this zero tick generator. I mean, the fact that he could make it this much smaller was largely due to the zero tick generator, which neither me nor J8N knew. So apparently when you have a 2 tick from observers and 2 redstone ticks, I mean repeater ticks, the repeater ticks are faster, and it creates a reliable 0 tick signal. So yeah, I was not aware of that, but apparently that works. But then Sacred was still not happy. He thought he could do better, so he continued playing around, and then he found this 0 tick generator, or this setup basically. Like, it's not just 0 tick, but this actually does the entirety of this double extender thing. So it extends, it does a 0 tick and retracts again. So the 0 tick here is really nice. Basically you just retract an observer such that it powers those pistons, but it also powers this piston below that will immediately push it back again before it could have reached a 1 tick delay, basically, like instantly, just with some 0 tick offsets. So that creates a reliable 0 tick. And then here he uses a lamp to actually make it power once before this whole 0 tick fires, but because the lamp has, I think, a 1 or 2 tick, I suppose a 2 tick turn off delay, it actually fires once again a couple of ticks later, I think 3 ticks later, because it remains powered from the observer for 1 tick as well, and then actually properly retracts the thing. So using that, we actually together did the rest of the of this part, this left area, and managed to get it this size. So that's basically my original thing, but then with this layer cut off, or the same size as that, I mean, making it, I think, like 3 blocks smaller than that design. And then this guy, Exorden, I will link all the names in descriptions, or at least mention them, depending on if they have a channel, I will link that. But yeah, he came along and he actually didn't care for this design specifically, but he wanted to do one where the glass was fully hidden when it's retracted or whatever in that display state. So he made this thing, which is quite cool, but I mean, it obviously doesn't improve on the size of that, but he did, while making this, actually discover this pretty cool thing. So apparently if your glass was fully hidden, 3 tick, and power that through an or like put an observer to 1 tick there, if you have a piston below here, it will update like perfectly in order to create a 0 tick. And basically this is the whole 0 tick extension thing, which is like tiny, and I assume he just found this by coincidence or luck or whatever, but it's super clever and like really small. So yeah, he used that in this design, but then actually MDP came along and he saw that clever thing, and then with some real effort basically managed to eventually turn that into this design, or use that in this design, where he does some other clever things as well. and basically have this tiny 36 blocks version, which again I think like cuts this whole layer off of ours basically, and rotate it of course, but yeah, so 9 blocks smaller I think. So yeah, that's pretty insane. And I just thought it was really interesting to see how we got from that initial design that I made all the way here with like quite some different people working on it, and it was in a fairly short time span that it all happened. And basically I didn't have anything else to make a video about, so I thought it would be cool sharing this with you guys. Suppose I can do a quick tutorial on this design as well. I will upload a separate video for that at the same time as this one is released, assuming MDP is okay with that. So that's all for this video, and see you all later. Bye.